Well, hello, lovelies, and welcome into Studio B for this beginner's Vinyasa practice. As you can see here, I have a couple of blocks that I find always to be of service when I'm doing a Vinyasa practice. I like to just have them on hand. You could also use large books if you're at home and don't have blocks available. Today's practice is inspired by a really brief interaction that I had with one of my children. My children typically go to bed quite early, and so they're not usually in the car with us at night if we're driving around town. And we were coming home from an event and it was dark, and one of my children looked at me and said, "Mom, are you seeing the magic of this moment?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And my child went on to describe the lights that were in the town, the lights from the restaurants and the stoplights and of the buildings. And it was an everyday occurrence. And yet to them, it was magical because it was something that they had not really seen a lot before. And it made me think how many everyday moments are actually magical, but we're just not paying attention, or we've become numbed to them. So this practice is an invitation to come back to the magic of the moment. And we're going to begin on our backs. So coming onto your backs, bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide, lying on your spine in Supta Baddha Konasana. I'm going to place my hands on my lower belly. If that doesn't feel of service to you, you could always have the arms alongside you or even overhead. And just giving yourself a couple of breaths to land on the mat, recognizing that the practice has officially begun, that the body is here and the body is breathing. And there's a sort of simple magic just in having a body, in witnessing the breath, and engaging in a practice where your primary job is to just witness the magic of the body at work. Take one more breath here in this opening, landing position. And go ahead and extend the arms out wide or in cactus arms. And then lift the knees, widen your feet the width of your mat. So your feet are the width of your mat. And then drop both knees to the right and to the left, starting to windshield wiper from side to side. A nice little greeting to the hips, to the knees, to the ankles, and just kind of checking in with the body here. And the next time your knees go over to the right, go ahead and stay there. Lift the head, look over to your left, continuing that twist up into the neck, the cervical spine. Maybe lift your right foot, place it on the outside of your left knee, gently encouraging just a deeper release there. Giving ourselves permission to start the practice slowly, approaching the body with humility and reverence. And then you can keep this shape of the legs as you wiggle your left foot back to center, head back up to the ceiling, thread your hands behind your left thigh, and find a reclined pigeon pose, checking in with the hips here. And for me, it's really natural to sway a little bit here, sort of a lullaby in the body as I'm kind of massaging open the hips. And then I'll come into a spinal twist, arms out wide, right thigh slides over the left, drop both knees to the left, and take a couple of breaths there, lifting the head, looking over to the right. So approaching this entire warm-up sequence as a way to connect with the body, noticing kind of what you have to work with this morning and also any boundaries you might need to really observe or respect. Come back to center. Let's find happy baby pose. This time taking your peace fingers, wrapping them around the big toes, letting the thighs melt towards the mat, and a couple breaths here. You could stay right here, maybe again rocking slightly from side to side, or perhaps explore extending one leg and then the other, kind of checking in with the inner leg, the inner thigh. Seeing, okay, what kind of space do I have to work with there in the body? And then we'll take that sequence on the second side. So release the big toes, feet come down, arms either out wide or in that cactus position, and start to windshield wiper side to side. Maybe feeling a little bit more lubricated and open this second time through. This feels good. I also am kind of getting a little massage in my hips here. And the next time the knees are over to the left, stay there. Pick up the head, look over to the right, and drop back into the experience of the breath. Maybe lift your left foot, place it on the outer right knee, encouraging a deepening there. Remembering always that everything that I offer is exactly that. It's an offering, a suggestion, an invitation, but never a requirement. Walk the right foot in towards the center of the mat. Thread the hands behind the right thigh as you find your reclined pigeon pose. Maybe some slight rocking, some sort of exploratory movement here. And then we'll take that spinal twist. Left thigh over right. Drop the knees to the right. Lift the head, look to the left. Hi there. I've been really enjoying beginning my practices on my back. Just greeting the body softly, gently, knowing that some more challenging aspects of the practice are coming up ahead of me, but just giving myself permission to start softly. Let's come back into center. Extend your legs up towards the ceiling and then reach your arms either alongside you, palms down. This will give you more support. Or if you're wanting more of a challenge, reach the arms overhead, the backs of the hands on the floor. Inhale, drop your right leg, hovering the heel just over the mat. Lift and switch left. That's 10. And then right, scissoring back and forth, and 9. We'll go down to 1. So right and left, this is 8. And right and left is 7. And right, waking up the core is 6. And right, back body heavy, 5. And right, how's that breath? And 4. And right, you've got this, and 3. And right, keep smiling, and 2, you're almost there, and right. And 1, we'll go to 0, right, and left, you did it. Hug those knees in, lift the head, give yourself a squeeze, really mean it. And then we'll make our way to downward facing dog. So rocking along the spine, crossing those ankles, walking back to downward facing dog. And for me, it just feels so intuitive to take a little movement here. Greeting my downward facing dog, like, how body? Hi body, how you doing? How does this feel today? What do you need from me? Finding the magic in this shape, knowing that my body has never been the body that it is right now. And then finding some stillness. Dropping into that experience of breath. And just allowing my body to be in this shape, breathing in this shape without needing to change or to fix anything, but knowing that my body is good and that this is a good place to be. Let's walk the hands back to the feet, finding Uttanasana at the back of your space, dangling for a moment. I'm going to soften my knees because my hamstrings aren't quite warm yet. Letting my belly kind of snuggle up against my thighs. Hold on to opposite elbows and then pull the elbows forward so the biceps are by the ears. And again, maybe some delicate swaying motions here feel nice. And then let's really be intentional about that. So twisting to your right and just pull a little bit on that left elbow, maybe feeling a little bit more of a stretch to the left side of the spine. Moving in the other direction, twisting intentionally to the left, a little pull on that right elbow. Greeting every sensation as if it's its own sort of magic. Like, the body has feeling there too. How amazing. Come back to center, keep a hold of your elbows, look at your feet and see, are they where you want them to be to come into a chair pose? For me, I'm going to want to walk my feet in just a little bit. And then I'm going to start to build my chair from the bottom up. So sinking my hips, bending my knees. Now I'm starting to lift my head, look forward, and then lift my torso. Keep my elbows parallel to the floor. And then I'm going to think of hugging my forearms towards me. Finding the breath here. Like I'm holding something really precious in my arms. And I'm finding this balance of effort and ease in this chair pose. And then I'll start to rise to standing. So as I push down through my feet, I'll straighten the knees, let my arms float up and overhead, keeping hold of the elbows if you can, and then a standing crescent moon, lean to your right, and again, a little pull on that left elbow. And then switching sides, lean to the left, gently tugging on that right elbow. And then coming up through center, we'll take 2 half salutations, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, folding over the legs. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, folding in. Circle sweeping the arms out and all the way up. And bring the palms together. One more just like that. Finding the magic in the everyday. Circle sweep the arms out and up. Maybe you've done so many half salutations in your life, you've forgotten the magic that's here. Lift up tabletop spine. Exhale, fold in. Circle sweep the arms out and up. And palms together. Let's move this into a Surya Namaskaram A sun salutation A. Circle sweep the arms out and up. Nice and slow but steady, folding over the legs. Find the half lift. And this time walk the hands forward to downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to a plank pose. Pause here for a moment. Lowering the knees, and then in one solid piece, lowering all the way to the floor. Activate the legs, lift the head, the neck, the chest, the shoulders, cobra. Shifting through all fours, tuck the toes, return to downward facing dog for 3. And 2. And 1. Looking to the front of the mat, walking or stepping the feet to the front of your space. Inhale, lift up halfway. I'm going to bring my fingertips to my blocks. That feels nice. Drop in, fold. Circle sweep the arms out and up. And bring that energy into the heart center. One more Surya Namaskaram A. Inhale, circle sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, fold over those legs. Inhale, half lift, maybe fingertips are on blocks. Exhale, step it back to your plank pose. Feel strong and stable there, inhale. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, one solid piece to the floor. Lifting head, neck, shoulders, chest, cobra. And then pass through all fours, tuck the toes, downward facing dog 3. 2, 1. Looking to the front of your mat space, looking forward, walking or stepping the feet. Inhale, half lift, maybe fingertips to blocks. Exhale, fold in. Circle sweep to rise. And palms come together. Take a moment, close the eyes, lengthen the arms alongside you. Feeling any shifts in the body, in the energy, in the mind, just through that opening warm-up sequence. Let's open the eyes, turn to face the long edge of your mat. Hi there, I get to see your faces. We're gonna do a whole sequence facing the long edge of your mat. So starting kind of over to the right-hand side, we're gonna begin with a balancing pose called star pose. So we'll stand on the right leg and take the left leg out to the side, left toe is still on the mat. Reach your arms up wide so you're like a 5-pointed star. And then you'll start to explore the balance by tilting the body to the right, kind of testing, how far can we go to the right while still being connected to this ultimate center of balance. Taking up all of our space here. Oftentimes when we think of things like magic, images of galaxies and universes and constellations come to mind. The magic of the expansiveness. And we ourselves are so expansive, full of potential. Let's start to come out of this star pose. Bring the left foot down. Stand wide in a star pose. Turn the heels in 45 degrees. Reach the fingertips up and again, unapologetically taking up that space. You don't need to shy away from your magic. You don't need to hide it. You can embrace it fully. One more breath here, feeling the power of your own magic. Every single one of us has our own special brand of magic. Let's move into a goddess flow here. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, drop down. Feel that power. We'll do that 4 more times. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, drop down. 3 more. Inhale, feel the breath come in. Exhale, let that breath take you down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale, we'll hold, bring the hands to the knees. Drop the right shoulder, little horse twist here. And then switch, drop the left shoulder. 1 more each side, right and left. And then coming to center, turn the feet parallel, bring the hands to the floor or to a block, your choice. We're gonna do some upright skaters, okay? So bending your left knee, will feel a little bit of an opening in this right inner thigh. Block could travel with you a little bit to the left. Inhale here. Exhale, skate over to the other side. Block could travel. Inhale. Exhale, skate. You could bring the block, you could just have hands. Exhale, you skate. If you're feeling really strong and stable, hands could come to heart center, skate. And skate. 1 more each side, you got this. Skate. And skate. Ooh, bring the fingertips down. Bring the hands to the waist, soften the knees, reach that spine forward, rising up. Super well done. That was a lot of power in those legs. Let's take this sequence second side. So I'm gonna step my right foot in a little bit. So I've shifted over to the left side of my mat as I prepare for my star pose, standing on my left foot, right leg out to the side. Reach those arms up, 5-pointed star. And we're gonna explore the galaxies in this direction this time. So leaning to the left, right leg lifts up. Hovering, balancing, breathing. You got this. I was really struck when my son used that language of the magic of the moment. Like, Mommy, are you seeing the magic of this moment? For him, it was such a notable moment. For me, it was just an everyday thing that I had stopped paying attention to. Let's come to center, find that goddess position, finding our star first, 5-pointed position. Then turn the heels in 45 degrees. Bring the palms together and sit down into your goddess where we're just gonna hold for 4 full breaths. You got this. Let the muscles kind of relax and let the bones really support you here. You got this. 3. We want the toes on the mat, but they don't need to grip. They're just settled. 2. How magical is your strength? My goodness. One more breath. And then bring the hands to the waist. Stand up tall. Turn the feet parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. We're going to hinge forward. You can welcome in a block if that would feel supportive. Hinging from the waist, folding Prasarita Padottanasana. So hands could come onto one or two blocks. Another option is to have a block in place and to place the head on the block. And remembering all of the things that I'm offering are suggestions. They're different ways that you could approach the shape that might feel resourceful to you. But knowing that you have this wisdom that you are really the highest teacher in the room. And so much of this practice is learning to identify what you need in the pose. This is really serving as our inversion practice today as well, the hips being higher than the heart. And we'll stay here about 45 more seconds. I'm going to give you some silence here. Just being with your body and the breath. Inhale, lift the head and the heart, walk the hands forward. Give yourself a breath or two to kind of normalize after that inversion. We're going to come into Malasana. This is another one that can feel really supportive to come bring a block behind you. Heel toe the feet in. Turn the feet out 45 degrees, bend the knees, and start to drop down into your yogi squat, either landing on that block, or if you prefer not to have the support of the block, that's fine too. You can remove it. But just knowing you always have these different options for knowing how to resource yourself. This is one of the foundational shapes of the human body. You know, we've taken this shape from the time that we became bipeds, really. So connecting to this magical energy of our ancestors, of the energy that's kind of embedded in our very cells by being in this shape that generations and generations before us have been in, worked in, birthed in. And then we'll come down to the earth. So hands can come down or behind you as you support coming into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Always welcome to bring in a prop if you'd like that for your head. Holding onto the big toes with the peace fingers. Inhale, lifting up, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, folding forward. This magic of coming full circle in the practice. We started on the earth. We explored galaxies, potentials, standing up. And yet we come back to the earth. Lift the head and the heart. Take the legs out wide. Upavishta Konasana. And we're going to flow just a bit here. So reach the arms out wide and exhale, fold to the right. Let the inhale pick you up, arms wide, and exhale, fold to the left. And we're going to go about 30 seconds here. And I'd like to invite you to allow this to become more dance-like, really fluid. Don't let it be overly structured. This is about visiting the space in the side body without any sort of rigidity or expectation. Just kind of saying, how does it feel to move into this region of my body as far as it will safely let me go? And the next time you come up, pause for a moment. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale, fold forward. It might just be bringing the hands to the floor. It might be bringing the forearms down, or maybe widening the forearms forehead to hands. And settling in here, if you're finding this really strenuous, if the hamstrings are just not cooperating, you can always bend the legs and place the blocks underneath the legs here as well, taking a much more compassionate version of the shape. So again, knowing you're the highest teacher in the room, you choose where you need to be. And then walking the hands up and in, we're going to close our practice with a meditation and some breath work. So bending the knees, coming into Sukhasana, easy seated pose. And I'm going to elevate my hips onto a block here since we'll be seated for a few moments. You're welcome to sit on a cushion or a pillow as well. But trying to get yourself very comfortable here. Find a nice resting place for the hands, either on the lap or the knees. And then either settling the eyes on something in front of you or closing the eyes. As you inhale, maybe silently saying to yourself, there is magic. And as you exhale in this moment, inhaling, there is magic. Exhaling in this moment. There is magic. In this moment. You're welcome to continue with that affirmation. There is magic in this moment. Or if it feels more supportive to release the affirmation and simply witness the breath, you could do that as well. Witnessing as the body is a container for its own special brand of magic. A kind of magic that only you can bring into the world. Allowing yourself to reside and rest inside of your own magic. Not denying it, not shying away from it, not making it smaller, but allowing it to be full, witnessing it in all its glory. Knowing that in this moment you are full of magic. We'll prepare to close the practice. Releasing any affirmation you may have been holding on to. Maybe bringing the palms of the hands together, or maybe placing them on the body. Thanking your body for the magic of the practice. Thanking your mind for coming along, for its presence and attention. Thanking your spirit for its wisdom. Thank you so much for being here for this practice. I appreciate you and am so grateful for the brand of magic you bring into the world. Closing with the shlokas or the verses of my lineage of integral yoga. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. And may that light of truth overcome all darkness. Victory to that light. Jai Shri Sakuru Maharaj Ki.